Hello folks, Dustin Zarni here, Commissioner in a Car. The hand count begins. Today is Tuesday. It is November 28th, and welcome. I hope you're staying safe. It's just a little bit of a snowstorm out there, so I hope you're staying safe and well and warm this snowy Tuesday evening. The Board of Elections started our hand count for the 2023 election today. And we really got a great start to this. I'm really happy. You know, just to recap, we're hand counting the county clerk's race, which has a 306 vote margin after late arriving absentees and cures were processed over the last day or so. And then there was Camillus Ward 3, which had a 9 vote margin. Spafford Town Council, which had a 19 vote margin, and Solvay Village Ward 1, which had a 12 vote margin. So all 4 of those races have been hand counted, and obviously the county clerk is countywide, so that's going to take quite a bit of time. We were able to get the hand counts done on the 3 smaller races, and we have definitive results now for those smaller races. The Democrat maintained his lead in Solvay Village Ward 1 of 12 votes. There was no changes there. No ballots got changed. Very few ballots got changed in the first day. This is actually a nice little story that is developing about how accurate our new machines are. But, so Solvay Village Ward 1 had a 12 vote lead for the Democrat Joe Meacham, and he won. Unfortunately, for Camillus Ward 3, there was a pickup of 1 vote for the Democrat. Well, actually, it was 1 less vote for the Republican. And I'll explain that in a second. So the Republican won that district by 8 votes. And then there was no change in Spafford Town Council, where the Republican won that district by 19 votes. There was a Democrat that was elected first, but the second place, because there was a vote for 2, Jim O'Connell lost to Chuck Parsons there by 19 votes. So let me explain about Camillus Ward 3. And there's a missing ballot. Now, we don't know that it's a missing ballot. It could be that the machine double counted a ballot. This happens when the machine jams or stuff like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get through the rest of the county and see if we can find that ballot. This happened last year, too. There's always a few of these little things where it gets misfiled and a similar thing. We did get all the way through Camillus and Cicero and didn't find that ballot. It's more than likely in those areas. It might be in the Clay because it starts with a C. But we're going to see how that goes over the next couple of days. See if that ballot turns up. If not, we're going to assume that that is a machine error that had a double vote count that we don't have to actually do anything with because it's an 8 vote margin and it's not determinative of the race. So those 3 races are done. The county clerk race is ongoing. As I said, the lead grew from 304 to 306 because of late arriving cured ballots that came in today and yesterday, and they were properly postmarked. So we had to accept them. This should be the last of those ballots. This is the end of that. There are no ability unless something comes in that's postmarked before November 24th. The cure has to be postmarked before November 24th. Then we will, have to add that into the totals. But I don't think that that's going to happen. So we did about 55 election districts today, and then about 13,500 ballots. This is a really good start because some of those election districts we had to do twice because we had those other races that we had to count as well. So really, in essence, we did 65 election districts and about 16,000 ballots. So that's a great pace. We also started an hour later today. Instead of starting at 9, we started at 10 because we wanted to give proper instructions to our staff and to the observers. And I got to say, it went so well today. Everybody was behaved. There wasn't any ridiculous objections. There was only about 4 or 5 objections. They were not agreed to. And I think out of those, I think the commissioners, we only split on one of them, and so there's a lot of agreement in the room. And then we only found about 2 more votes right now for Lisa Dell. Picked up 2 more votes in the first 13,500 ballots that we counted. So and both of those votes were people put in very light traces of pen in their kind of like a little check mark, and just not big enough for our scanners to pick up. And that's what the hand count is for things like that, to determine that they are actual votes and voting for the candidate. So those happened, and so that's where we're at. So what's the rest of the week going to look like? Well, we're going to continue Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at least. So if we did let's say we did about 13,000 ballots today. Let's say we could pick up the pace to about 15,000 ballots over the next few days. Then we're looking at about, about Tuesday of being done next week, which I think is probably where we're going to end up. Maybe we'll pick up the pace even more than that, but I don't think so. It's just, again, even though there's not as many ballots as last year, and there's not a lot of people making objections, there's still more election districts, over double the number of election districts, and more counting groups inside the election districts. Instead of just counting in-person and absentee, which we did last year, we now break up the in-person in early and election day and absentee, which is very accurate and the right way to go, but it adds another step. So, and I'm kind of getting into the weeds on this, but I'm doing that to show you how much effort the boards of elections do to get the correct winner in every race, and what we're required to do by law, but also we've become pretty good at it. I'm really proud of the staff. And so far, it really looks like the clear ballot machines and the clear ballot absentee system is performing admirably well. We only have a couple of ballots out of the first 13,000 that the machine didn't pick it up the way it was supposed to be read. And it's a pretty good thing. We're going to see how this goes going forward, but we're pretty happy with the amount of work they got done today, and the behavior of all of the observers was excellent and professional and jovial, and everybody was in a good mood, and they're all just there to see democracy get done, and I think that's a wonderful thing, and that's why this is a lot of extra work doing this hand count. It is. And normally at this time, this is kind of where we relax after working 70-hour weeks for 2 months straight to get ready for the election. So a lot of time we take time off, and we're not able to do that. But the hand counts they're important, because what they're showing is that we are doing every attempt to get the right winner of every race, but it's also showing that the scanners that we're using are correct and working very well. The Dominion scanners last year worked very well. These are working even better. And that there's very little changes after election night. But by doing this, we are giving an assurity to the voters and a surety to the candidates that the correct winner is going to be able to be sworn into office. So I'm really happy that of where we are at. I'm really happy with the staff. We'll do an update again at the end of each day at the Board of Elections website. I'm sorry, not the website, but the Facebook and Twitter page of our progress. We won't give vote totals, because we won't do that until after we're done with the election. Except for those 3 races that we are done with, we will post those later tonight. Those will be the final totals for those races, and those people will be certified with our certification that is coming on Friday. Yes, we have to certify before we're done with the hand count, and then we reopen the certification for the hand count. So still a lot of work to do, but we're very hopeful that this is going to get done very well and very quickly and professionally, and that's what we're here to do. So that's all I got. Ooh, sorry, a little tired. That's all I got for Commissioner in the Car today. This week, lots of content. I'm back on my regular schedule content, and I'm going to be doing a Zoom with Zarni with Jared Berg of Vote Early New York. We're going to be talking about the new early voting by mail law that is coming into, going to go into effect for next year, and what that means, as well as how early voting is going. How are people using early voting, and is this tool going to be used properly in the 2024 presidential elections? And then this weekend I'll be back on a weekly walk, and I'm going to do kind of a lost stories type of recap of the 2023 general election, because I still won't have quite all the data that I want to do my really wonky deep dives into the election data. So I'm going to do kind of a lost stories that's going to talk about things that maybe you may have missed, or maybe I may have missed. Stories that came out of this last election that are fun to think about, going back and see where we are, and how Democrats did, how Republicans did, how turnout was, little things, and then we'll get into the really wonky stuff in the weeks to come. All right, that's all I got for you today. Please stay safe in this snowstorm. Remember, Syracuse, we've been here before. And remember, you can always go to DustinZarni.com, and going there, you can subscribe for free. You'll get an email notification anytime I have an update. And if something else is going on, like election news, I'll throw that up there as well. All right, take care. Bye-bye.